Bitcoin just bounced to $68,434. That's a pretty big move up from the lows we saw earlier. And right now, everyone's asking the same question: is this bounce real, or is Bitcoin going to drop again? Today, I'm breaking this down in really simple terms. No fancy jargon, just what's happening with Bitcoin, what the charts are telling us, and what some big events coming up could mean for your money. So let's start with what's actually happening right now. Bitcoin hit a low around $62,500 not long ago. That was actually a double bottom, meaning Bitcoin tested that low twice and bounced both times. That's usually a positive sign. From that 62,500 level to where we are now at 68,434, that's about a 9% bounce. 9% doesn't sound like much, but in crypto, that's a significant move in a short period of time. The charts are showing us that buying pressure came in that low. Buyers stepped in and said, no, we're not going lower, and now we are rallying. But here's the important question: can these bonds hold, or is this just a fake out before another drop? That's what we need to figure out. So here's something most people don't pay attention to, but actually really matters. There's a huge Bitcoin options expiry happening on Friday. We're talking about 10.5 billion in options contracts expiring. So what are options? Think of them as bets. People bet that Bitcoin will go up, or calls, or even down, puts. When Friday comes, those bets get settled. And when there's this much money on the line, it can actually push Bitcoin's price in certain directions. Right now, the data shows that the people betting Bitcoin goes down have more money at stake than the people betting it goes up. That's bearish. The downside bets are winning. But here's the interesting part: if Bitcoin can really rally just 9% more from here, from $68,434 up to around 75k, then the upside bets could win instead. It's that close. So Friday's expiry is basically a knife's edge. A small move one way or another determines who makes money and who loses. Let me show you the technical picture really simply. Right now, Bitcoin is at $68,434. There are three zones you need to care about. First zone is support at 65k. That's where buyers showed up last time. If Bitcoin falls below that, we're probably retesting the 62,500 low again. Second zone is resistant at 70k. This is a big psychological level. If Bitcoin can break above 70k and close there, that's a bullish sign. It tells us buyers have control. The third zone is the 200-day moving average. It's around 85k. That's way above us, but if Bitcoin keeps bouncing, that's where it could eventually go. Right now, we're right in the middle. We're above support at 65k. We're below resistance at 70k. So Bitcoin is in a decision zone. Either it breaks above 70k and rallies, or it falls back below 65k and tests the lows again. The bigger picture here is that Bitcoin is still down 48% from its all-time high at around 126k. So even at 68k, we're still in a bear market technically. And here's something positive. Bitcoin spot ETFs just had 257 million in inflows. That means institutional money, big companies and funds are actually buying Bitcoin at these prices. So why does that matter? Because when institutions buy, it usually means they think Bitcoin is a good deal right now. They're not panicking like retail investors are, they're accumulating. FBTC and IBIT are the two biggest ETFs and both saw a good inflows. So even though retail is scared and selling, institutions are quietly buying. That's a divergence, and divergences usually resolve with a bigger money winning. So while fear and greed index is low, showing everyone is scared, the institutional money data shows professionals think this is a good entry point. So now let's talk about the stuff happening in the real world that actually affects Bitcoin. First, senators are probing Binance about Iran and Russia sanctions. This is regulatory noise, but it matters long term. The more governments look into crypto, the more regulation comes. That's very short term, but actually good long term for Bitcoin because it means legitimacy. Second, Trump and stablecoins. The government is talking about stablecoins and Gaza. These are the political discussions that will shape how crypto is regulated going forward. Again, regulatory stuff. Third, Trump raised tariffs by 15%. When tariffs go up, it usually pushes inflation higher, which makes people want assets assets like Bitcoin that can be printed, so that's usually bullish for Bitcoin long term. None of this is immediately bearish for Bitcoin, it's just regulatory and political noise. The real driver right now is the options expiry Friday and whether Bitcoin can break above 70k. Okay, so here's the simple version of what's happening. Bitcoin bounced from $62,500 to $68,434. That's good, but it's not confirmed yet because we were still below the key 70k level. There's a 10.5 billion options expiry Friday. If Bitcoin can get to 75k, the bulls win. If it stays below 70k, the bears win. Institutions are quietly buying through ETFs while retail is scared. That's usually a bullish sign. The technical setup is neutral to slightly bullish. We bounce from support, now we need to break resistance. The regulatory and political stuff happening is noise for now. Long term, it's interesting, but it's not affecting Bitcoin price this week. So my take is Bitcoin looks like it's setting up for a move either up to 70k to 75k if Friday options expiry squeezes short positions higher, or down to 65k if we fail here and roll over. The bounce is real, but it's not confirmed until we close above 70k on the daily chart. That's the line in the sand. So that's where the Bitcoin stands. We're at the decision point. $68,434 is a bounce, but is it the start of a bigger rally or just a dead cat bounce? Keep an eye on 70k, that's the level that matters. If Bitcoin closes above 70k on Friday after that options expiry, things get interesting for the upside. If it fails and drops back below, the downside is still in play. Don't panic either way, Bitcoin is volatile, these moves are normal. Just watch the key levels: 65k support, 70k resistance, and Friday's expiry. If you found this breakdown helpful, subscribe. I post simple technical analysis like this every week. Drop a comment and let me know, do you think Bitcoin bounces to 75k or retests the lows? Thank you so much for watching, and if you want a really good exchange to trade on, I will put a link for BitUnix in the video description down below with a massive bonus. Make sure that you use that link, create an account, and deposit your money. Thank you again so much for watching, and I will see you all around in the next episode.